Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Gine and it's Gine Signatures. So, welcome everybody. Hope I'm not late to this trendy baggy pants, baggy trouser. So, if this is what you're interested in, please kindly watch till the end. And as you're watching, don't forget to call your neighbors and don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to share. So, if this is what you're interested in, like I said, please kindly watch till the end. This trouser is quite comfy. Well, I've always loved a big trouser. I don't like tight fitted trousers. So when this came up, I just felt like, oh, I'm gonna make one for myself and I'm gonna show it to my subscribers. So sit back, relax, and let's go over to it. So in order to determine the volume of fabric you have on fold, you divide your hip measurement by 4 and then you add extra 3 inches depending on how big you want it to be. But I added extra 3 inches to mine, and then I added 3 inches extra for my crotch curve. So whatever I have on my total is 17 inches. So that's what I folded. Even though I folded like about 19, I ended up using 17 inches. Now I'm cutting off the salvage part of this trouser because I don't want that showing on my waist area. So now I'll be taking the length of the trouser, and when taking the length of the trouser, I'll be putting into consideration the 2 inches that I'll be making use for my band. And then I'll get the length of the trouser and then add my sewing allowances. So for the length of my trouser is 41 inches, and then I added 2 inches extra for folding. So what I have there is 43 inches. Then the next thing I'm marking now is my waist to my hip, and then my waist to my crotch. Now if your crotch is 11 inches, just add about 1.5 inches to that because you want it to be free. It's not going to be a tight fitted trouser, it's a baggy. That is why you need that your crotch area free. So now I'll be dividing my hip measurement by 4, and then I'll be adding the extra 3 inches that I told you that I added to that. And whatever I have there, I'll be marking it on my crotch depth, my hip line, and then my waistline respectively. So I'll be drawing a straight line to that effect, like so. Now to get my crotch extension, I'll be dividing the total hip measurement that I added the extra 3 inches with. I'll divide by 4, and whatever I have, I'll be using it as my crotch extension. So that is basically what I'm trying to mark there. So I'll just give my crotch curve a curve, like so. So the total of what I have here is what I'll be taking to the length of the trouser, like so. And then I'll connect it to a straight line. And so we're basically through with the front piece. So I'll be cutting this out. So we'll have our front piece, and I'll slit open the other side of the trouser. So now I'll fold my fabric again so that I'll cut out the back piece. Now I've folded my fabric, it's on fold as you can see. So I've placed the front piece on it like so. So when you're placing on this, just ensure that you have some inches by your crotch area and then at the upper part of the waist area, because those are the places you'll be making little alterations, just like the way we cut our normal trouser. Now on the crotch extension, I'll be making use of 2 inches. I'll be extending my crotch by 2 inches, which I just did, and then I'll be marking 2 inches on the crotch curve all the way to the waist area of this trouser. I didn't know my camera was not capturing this, so please forgive me. I'll still show you anyways. And then on the waist area, I'll be going up by 2 inches for the waist area, so that you don't want when you sit down, you don't want your back showing. So that's why you have to lift that back like so that by the time you sit down, your bum will not drag the trouser down. So I extended it like so, gave it a curve up to the waist area, as you can see. Sorry, my chalk was not very visible because I made use of a yellowed chalk, so I thought it was visible. So now on the side seams, I'll be adding 2 inches respectively all the way down. Now you don't want to add too many allowances because you don't want your trouser flipping to one side of your body. You need everything to be balanced. As you saw on the thumbnail, that it was not flipping to one side. All the lines were accurate. So that's basically what I was trying to explain. So the next thing I'm doing now is just to go ahead and cut out. Now on this side of the trouser, I'm not adding any allowances. The only place I added allowance was this part where the crotch extension was done. So that is what you can see me cutting that out. And then on the waist area, I'm going to be cutting it like so, lifting the back part because of the bum area. So this is basically it. So we have our front piece and then we have our back pieces as well. So you can see that the back piece is bigger. There's no need for that in this trouser because it's a bogus trouser, it's a baggy pants. So you don't need that. So now I'm going over to showing you how to cut the pocket. So I'm just going to be placing the front piece. I've removed the back piece because we don't need that. So for the front piece, I'll be taking 3 inches on the waist area inward, and then for the depth of the pocket, I'll be making use of 7 inches like so. So whatever curve you want to give your pocket, you can go ahead and give it. You can give it curve, you can make it straight, but I'll just give it a little bit of a curve and then cut out like so. So this is where I'll be attaching my pocket. Now let me reintroduce the remaining of the fabric. I'll be folding this into 2, and then when you're cutting it, you can cut about 12 inches by 14 inches for the pockets here. 12 inches by 14 should be more than okay. Yeah, so I'll just fold it like so and then cut out, because I'll be cutting for the 2 sides of the pocket at once. So this is what I have. So now I'm just trying to reaffirm what I cut out. So now I'll just place my, sorry, I placed that wrongly. I'm going to be flipping it over. So place like this, and placing like this is just to ensure that we cut out exactly the same shape that we have of the pockets, like so that everything would rhyme. And then I'll slit into 2. So we have for the 2 sides of the pocket. So I'll be heading over to the sewing machine now to show you how to join the pockets to the trouser. So now this is the trouser and this is the pocket. So let me just, I'll adjust my camera now because I felt like it was too near, so it was not capturing the thing very well. So let me just like adjust it a little bit, make it higher so that it will capture it here. So this is what we have here. So now I'll be placing front sides facing each other. Let me just try to make my plug very well, because my baby was coming there to disturb. So let me just plug it very well so that I can use it comfortably. So now placing the sides on each other like so, that is the side we cut out. Remember, I'll just run 1/4 inch all the way like so. Just run 1/4 inch to join the sides together, then give it a notch and then flip over like this and then top stitch on it like so. Just top stitch on it like that. And then the next thing you're going to be doing, always remember to cut your threads. And then the next thing you're going to be doing is to merge it like this, fold it inside and then run a stitch on top. So this gives a kind of beauty to trousers with pockets. I like doing this. So just run about 1/4 or 1/2 inch on it like this, just to give it a beautiful design. But when doing this, make sure you use a matching thread. So remember to cut your threads. So this is what we have for now. Yeah, we're moving. So now I'll fold into 2 like this, and when folding into 2 like this, just ensure that that 3 inches that you cut out on the waistline is what you have there. Do you understand what I mean? Just make sure that it's that 3 inches that is there, because by the time you want to join your front and back together, everything must rhyme. So now there's a way I do mine that I don't use overlocking machine. So instead of doing it straight like this, I'll flip it to the reverse side. And then I'm going to be sewing the inner pocket first. The inner side of the pocket, I'm going to be sewing that first, as you can see. Then when I'm sewing, when I come to this side, I will leave about ½ inch before the joining on the side, and then I'll trim out the excess fabric, like around there. Like I use like a quarter, but I'm still trimming out excess like that. Trim it all the way around, and then I'll turn it out, so that place that I sew will be inside and the other place will be outside, as if I've sewn the pocket like this. But now I'll take it over to the machine again, and then I'm going to be top stitching on that place all the way. So this does not, I don't go to overlock my pockets, and this always makes the pocket, it won't fray because it won't get loose. Or if you sew it only once and you didn't remember to overlock, the pocket may open. But if you do this method, it will not open. So you can see this is how the pocket is looking. You can see the inside is neat. There's no need to weave it. So now on the waist area, I'll just align the pocket very well like this, and then use like about ¼ inch to hold it on the waist area, like so, just to keep it in place. And this is how our pocket is done. QED, quite easily done. You can see the pockets looking beautiful. So whatever I did on this side, I'll be repeating on the other side of the trouser. I wanted to show you again the other side for some people that probably did not really understand what I explained, but my machine became camera shy. There was nothing I could do. I tried everything, probably maybe because I was in the East. The thing, I was not threading it well, and it was not sewing, so I just had to abandon it and did it off camera. You're going to be seeing what I was trying to do, but the machine just became camera shy. So if you've watched up to this level, please hit on the subscribe button, kindly like, kindly share, and kindly give this video a thumbs up, and please leave beautiful comments to encourage your girl. You know it's not easy, you know, except you just don't want to admit it, you know. So I've done the first part, joining and then top stitching. It was at this point the thing refused to say no, I don't want to show you again. I've shown you before. So if you feel you didn't understand that part, you can just always rewind and rewatch so that you get the drift of how I did that pocket. Because I think that first side that I did was explicit enough. So if you watch it critically, as in several times, you would get it perfectly well. We have different ways you can achieve this here, but I've always used this method and I'm okay and perfect with it. My pocket has always come out nice and clean. It didn't sew again. I just felt like I just gave up and said no. Okay, let me just go and do this off camera. So I went over and did it off camera. So you can see I've joined the side seams and I've joined my crotches, and you can see that the waist area is balanced. Remember what I told you? When you're fixing the pocket, make sure that that 3 inches that you cut out must be replaced. You can't shorten it. Now we're going over to doing off the band. Now I've measured my waist area all around, and I have what I have on fold, 2 inches, remember, for the band. And then when I was cutting, I cut out 2.5 inches. So for the ½ inches, I folded ½ inch on both sides, and I'm left with my 2 inches. Because when I was cutting, I cut it out on fold. For this, you don't need to iron any gum stay or ST. So now I'll be measuring ½ inch on my band 2 times, and I'll be running that stretch of a line all the way to the length of the band. There's something I wanted to try out, and I'm happy that I tried it out and it came out very beautiful. So I'll be making use of an ½ inch elastic band. I'm not making use of the 1 inch, and I'm not making use of the 2 inches band. I'm making use of the ½ inch band. So now I've gone ahead to run the stitches, as you can see, I've run half inch like so, 1 just 2, and I ran it on the closed side. Not, you can see that the half inch is still open because this is where I'll be fixing it to the trouser. So this is what I have. I'll take my elastic now. If you want to determine the length of elastic you're going to be making use of, just subtract from your waist measurement, remove like 10 inches, and then that is what you should cut out as your elastic, because this elastic is more stretchier than the big elastic, you know. So when you're going to use this, just make sure that you're careful when you're attaching it. So let me quickly fix this on the 2 holes and then join it, and then I'll be back, which I just did. So you can see the way it is now. You can see how stretchy it is. You know, you don't want your trouser falling off your waist, so you need to do it in a way that it will be comfortable and not too tight. So now remember that the half inches are there, so I'm going to be sandwiching this, my trouser, in between those half inch that we did. Just sandwich it like this, put it in between the 2 lines, and then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and then as I'm sewing it, I'll be arranging it and dragging the elastic, and that is where I'll sew it all the way around. And by the time you finish sewing it, you'll notice that there are some edges poking out from under. Just go ahead and run the stitch again all the way, and your trouser is going to be coming out beautiful. So that was how I achieved this beautiful waist that I loved. And the half-inch elastic is quite comfortable, unlike the big one, like the 1-inch one. This half-inch is very comfortable on the waist. You won't even feel that you're wearing anything. So you can see this is the back part. You can see how beautiful and how neat it looks. So thank you all, and God bless you, and watch out for my next tutorial because it's going to be a banger as always. And like I always say, this is Genius Signatures, and I'm signing out. Bye. See you all on my next tutorial.